let's have a look at the broad beans. And these are the healthiest broad bean plants I have ever managed to grow. They're very upright, they're quite tall, they haven't blown over in the wind. They've got a nice support at the back with some metal mesh. And then in the front, I've just run some timber posts hammered into the ground and some soft cloth ties, simply looped around each post and moved along. I had to be quite careful putting my arm in there because the ants of the area, the meat ants, have decided that they like these broad beans. They're getting the nectar, I'm not sure what they're getting, but they are absolutely everywhere here. So I'm not that keen on sticking my hands in there. Well, when I do, I'm going to be quite careful. But broad beans are a fantastic crop because you can eat so many parts of them as long as a big ant's not stuck on it. So you can eat the tips, so you can pick off the tips like that and use these as a stir fry. You can eat the leaves as a cooked green vegetable. You can eat these raw too, just checking there's no ant in them before I do that. The flowers are really tasty and edible. So you can add these to salads or to frittatas. They taste like a very soft version of broad beans. Really, really nice. And I grow a lovely red or scarlet flowered broad bean too. There doesn't happen to be any that have come up this year because I tend to let them mix. And they look really spectacular in your salads. And of course, the main attraction is the broad beans, although some people do grow them just for the leaves. So I tend to harvest the flowers up to the point that the weather warms up, as they flower, as they move up the plant, as the plant grows taller, I should say, and the pods start appearing. I see that as a sign, stop eating the flowers because you want the broad beans. When the bees are not on the plants, I eat the flowers because I may as well, there's nothing else happening with them. And when they're young like this, you can pick them and steam them or saute them or stir fry them and just eat them whole. You can eat them fresh too, but they're just a little bit nicer cooked. And when they get a bit bigger, like this, before they get too big, you can, if you don't like the taste of the pod, you can take out the little beans, and they're a little bit like edamame, and you can use them raw on a salad bowl or just have them lightly steamed, but they're really good as a little garden snack. Very tasty. Broad beans, also called faba beans by the farmers in central North Victoria where these are growing at the moment, where they're grown as a crop, are super useful in a food garden or a home food garden. They fix nitrogen into the soil, and when they're getting to the end of their beanie time, when the weather gets warmer in late October, or this year it's going to be sometime in November, you can chop them up and make really good mulch or compost with them. And of course, try and save some of the good pods to dry the seeds because they're super easy to grow from seed yourself for next year. So remember to plant some next autumn in your cool, temperate garden. And I just did some really simple tying up, so some timber stakes, a bit of soft cloth tie wrapped around each one and moved along. Ah! So, freaking hell, an ant just attacked me, sorry. Oh my god. No, not that. It's bad. It's covered in ants. The ants are really enjoying the nectar. I'm very possessive of the plant. No, bad. Look at the